Hey, what's up everybody? This is the one and only ADtheTRIBALCHILD, and you're watching TRIBALCHILD TV on YouTube. And this is the second and final part of my Resident Evil 6 demo impressions. The PlayStation 3 version, by the way. The reason why it took me so long to do this video is because not too long ago I have a malware virus on my computer. It pretty much fucks my computer up, and I can't even go online. I have parts 2 and 3 done. However, trying to get these videos uploaded was a hassle, especially on another computer, especially at the library, because the library's computers, YouTube don't work so well there. So I had to, take care of my computer, get rid of my malware, use system restored, an antivirus, system scan, quarantine, the whole 9 yards. So my computer is now free of malware, I should say. Another reason why I made this a 2-part instead of a 3-part is because the game is already out everywhere. So half the gamers that probably bought the game by now have already beaten the game. So I'm just going to talk briefly about Chris and Jake's gameplay as well as their backstory in this 6th installment of Resident Evil. So here it is.
Starting with Chris Redfield's campaign, in which takes place 6 months before Leon's, the BSAA agent and several others, including new partner Pierce Nathans, are investigating a bioterrorist attack on the fictional European country of Italia.
Yes, sir.
After a briefing on what Chris and the BSAA are dealing with, including BOWs and C virus infected humans called the Juavo, the campaign begins. As I mentioned in part 1, the controls are a hassle to deal with, especially using melee attacks and firearms with Chris. And dealing with the Juavo is no walk in the park. While appearing human and slightly infected from a distance, they are a pain in the ass when they are mostly and fully mutated. Dealing with the ones with the mutated arms for shields, melee attacks are your best option. Another FYI in part 1, rationing ammos is a must, especially for Chris's automatic assault rifle when dealing with gun-toting Juavos and giant BOWs. It is always important to pick up as much items, including ammunition and herbs, as possible. As far as the gameplay, difficulty, and control, Chris is slightly more difficult than Leon, mainly due to the enemies as well as using weapons. And finally, we get to Jake's campaign. Before I continue, there's a little correction I want to make out from part 1. His last name is actually Moeller, not Molins, so my apologies for the confusion. But anywho, he is the illegitimate son of Albert Wesker, and a member of the Italia Liberation Army. For his campaign, he is partnered with DSO agent Sherry Birkin. And for those who are not too familiar with the Resident Evil series entirely, Sherry was the little girl who was playable briefly in Resident Evil 2 and the daughter of Umbrella virologists William and Annette Birkin. Backstories aside, Jake and Sherry's campaign in the demo starts out around the same time and place as Chris's campaign, where Sherry was assigned by the Division of Security Operations to find a man with the antivirus antibodies. After witnessing members of the Italia Liberation Army becoming infected Juavo after taking energy boost, which was really the C virus, Jake found himself to be immune to the virus. He meets Sherry, and the two make their escape.
Man, everywhere you look, there's more of these assholes. Sucks being so popular.
There's no sneaking around them, is there?
After that cutscene, fast forward to 6 months later in the fictional province of Lachine, China, where the game begins for Shake and Jerry as they encounter a variety of Juavo enemies. In the demo, Jake's campaign is the most difficult and the enemies are harder, especially the Strelats, the lizard-like chrysalids that fall from a damaged Juavo, and they will give you the most trouble if you don't know what you're doing, let alone playing for the first time. Despite the difficulty, Jake is the most agile of the three main characters. In addition to the handgun, automatic machine gun, and sniper rifle, Jake is also equipped with hand-to-hand combat. When out of ammo or dealing with enemies that cannot be phased by it, Jake's hand-to-hand combat system really comes in handy and can easily take out a Juavo in 1 or 2 blows. For an illegitimate yet very badass son of one of the franchise's most notorious villains, he fights just like his old man.
I'm sure this wasn't part of the contract. But I am willing to renegotiate.
The only downside of Jake's hand-to-hand combat, depending on what combos you can use, it takes up a bar for your stamina meter for every hit, just like a regular melee attack, so use with caution. Of the three main antagonists, Jake is the most enjoyable to play regardless of difficulty.
So my initial impressions of the Resident Evil 6 demo, I mean, it's mostly good, but at the same time, it does have a few drawbacks, mainly with the controls, I mean, I feel like they have like one too many new features for the controls, especially with running as well as sliding and evading attacks. I mean, it could be useful, but at the same time, you gotta take a lot of getting used to. But I do find the one button health replenish is pretty handy. But again, I thought they threw in too much with the controls. That's the only issue that I have with. But other than that, the demo is great. The graphics are good, and I like how they I like how they had the how they set the story, how they set the mood for the 6th installment of Resident Evil 6. But the main question is whether I get it or not, since it's already out. Who knows? I'm kind of divided on the issue, mainly because that like after Resident Evil 5 was released, like several months later, a gold edition was released with all the extras and DLC already on the disc. And I'm concerned that they might do the same for Resident Evil 6. However, and I do mean however, for what I read on joystick.com, that the on disc DLC for Resident Evil 6 will be free. And for what I read, that Ada Wong will also have her own campaign mode in the future. So I'm probably gonna wait till the gold edition comes out if there is one. If not, I'll just get Resident Evil 6 when the prices go down. So that's pretty much it, really. So as always, this is the one and only ADtheTRIBALCHILD. Thanks for watching. Be sure you rate and comment my video, and if you want more from yours truly, make sure you subscribe. So till then,